In the past, all of our documentation at Dropbox kind of like lived in two separate spots. Design documentation lived in Figma because that's where designers were. And so it's really easy to like right click, go to main component, read the documentation. From there, we could link to the storybook examples. But having that source of truth so close to where our users were working meant that there was no excuse for them to say like, oh, I didn't read the documentation. That being said, when we released the design system at Dropbox, we had extremely robust documentation. It was very thoughtful, thorough, and long. And I think that it's not uncommon for designers to not read it. I think that material design is like so many people's North Star for what a documentation site should look like for a design system. But like the material design use case is so different than the use case for an internal design system. Material, it's like broad sweeping external user. And here it's like likely the people reading your documentation are people that you have a relationship with. And so the approach that I really want to take at Cache is that our documentation when we're releasing this new version of the design system is very, very limited. It's essentially like one step above a sticker sheet. And I want to hear from our users and I want to get feedback from our users. Like, what are the common questions they're asking? What is the documentation that will work for them? Ultimately, I don't think it's paragraphs and paragraphs of text, but really kind of giving that like quick do's and don'ts, best practices, examples, usage guidelines. That can be super, super helpful to them and isn't like a huge overhead task for our team to develop.